Okay, cool. So we're going to go over a few things today. Thanks everybody for being here. I got to talk to a couple of you today. That was awesome. And a couple yesterday. So I love having these like one-on-one conversations, and we'll do that more often, like once a month or whatnot, just so that we can help keep everybody on track and really accountable, and so that I can offer you guys like more attention and more learning opportunities. So if you haven't done a one-on-one with me yet and want to, I would love to do that with you, like a little video chat, and help you overcome any struggles that you're having, and to help do that. I'm going to take a picture for Instagram stories. Can you all smile?
Hold on. Let me get mine too.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. Sorry, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, awesome.
Anna disappeared. There she is.
Sorry, back.
Okay, sorry. I'm just writing on here really quick before it disappears.
Trying to find good lighting. It's a crappy little corner I got here.
Wow, you're making me dizzy.
I have like my nail light set up in the corner to try and give me a little bit of light because I got the dark corner in the room.
Nice. Do you do those gel nails?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I do acrylic gel, the whole natural nails, mani-pedis.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I love it.
Nice.
And then I just put crappy like dollar store nail polish on mine because I don't have the patience to do my own.
Awesome. Sorry, I got sidetracked there for a minute. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is like setting up phone calls and how to talk to enough people to make that happen. The second thing is I'm going to show you what Trello looks like, and I'm going to show you some awesome questions that I posted in our coach training group from my life coach that I think are super powerful for creating posts and creating who you want to attract. And then we'll chat a bit about Team Cup, and then we'll go on to Shanna at the end, and she'll be talking about Reiki. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did. Good
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to learn more.
Cool.
So basically, like as far as talking to enough people goes to set up phone calls, I know Chrissy had a question about that. And so I feel like it's really important to be talking to a lot of people in order to get a phone call set up each day. And so that's really the power of setting up your messages in such a way that you're sending out tons of messages each day, like maybe around 20 to 30, depending on what, you know, how quickly you want to run. But just be really super efficient with your power hour. Like, don't get caught up scrolling Facebook and Instagram because it's a huge time waste. And what I do and what I like to teach is you just send out one message and you wait till the next day to reply to those messages. So just leave them as unread, and then when you go into Facebook, you can just click unread and see all the messages from the day before and just go through those and answer all of them. So I just asked Tamara to kind of share maybe some tips that she has about working efficiently and talking to a lot of people in order to set up phone calls, and how exactly she sets those up. So I'm going to let you talk and give us some advice.
For sure. So first off, Heather saying not to scroll. My power hour when I first started was like 15 minutes of work, and then I was just like so distracted by scrolling, and then I'm like, why am I not like getting successful in any of this? I don't understand why people aren't messaging me. Like I just didn't get that concept of it. So the most important thing is just connecting with as many people as you can. So people who are liking your photos, just shoot them a message like, hey, thanks so much for your support on my recent post. I really appreciate it. End it with a question. Something maybe about a post that you've seen of theirs, or, you know, just if you don't have anything common to talk about, just how was your day or whatever. So it's always just anybody who's watching your Instagram stories, anybody who's commenting on your stuff, who's liking your stuff, who's engaging with your posts. Heather got me started on birthdays, wishing people birthdays. So in your Facebook notifications, it'll pop up and say, so-and-so has a birthday today. Don't write on their wall, go into their inbox and message them. And just like wish them a happy birthday. Let them know you hope they have a really great day. And then once they respond back, I always wait a day or two before I respond to them, like, hey, that's so cool. You're welcome. What did you do on your birthday? Start a conversation. So my biggest thing is you need to look at these people that you're talking to as friends, building relationships. Don't look at them as dollar signs, because you're not going to get anywhere if that's all you're looking at them as, is just another sign up. Like, that's not what it's about. It's building an authentic relationship with everybody that you come across. And some of these people may just like do their own thing and just like not respond to you anymore or whatever. And that's okay. You're going to have those people. But as long as you're always engaging in conversations with as many people as you can and just building relationships, it's just a compound effect. It's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. And you're going to have all of these people that you can continue talking to and always following up with them. So we listened to a little video call between Carl Deichler and Brendan Burchard. And Brendan was saying that you continually follow up with your no's as often as possible. So even if they're like, no, like, I don't want anything to do with this, follow up with them. Hey, I just, I know that you're trying to work on yourself and you're trying to, become a better person. I understand that this isn't really for you right now, but I saw this thing today and it made me think of you and I wanted to share this advice with you, so that they see that you're reaching out to them and you're actually caring about them, and that you do want to help them. And the more you follow up with these people and the more you build relationships with them, it just becomes genuine, and they see that. They get to see that side of you where they're a lot like, oh, she just, she's reaching out to me for just another dollar, right? That we don't want people seeing our relationships like that, because that's not what it's about. And so phone calls, whenever I invite, and I swear by this now because I struggled before just inviting people and then trying to like put all the information into my conversation and tell them what everything was about. And they would just be so overwhelmed and I'd never hear from them again. And I was like, what did I do wrong? Heather's like, get them on the phone. I was like, okay. So I do like one here and there. And I was still just like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, it's a lot of information that you're trying to just like puke into a message and people don't want to read that. So I invite as soon as I get that yes, then I'm like, hey, can I call you tomorrow at whatever time? And I set up a phone call with them, and I always let them know it's only going to take 10 or 15 minutes, so they're not thinking they have to waste like an hour of their day listening to you yatter in their ear. So these phone calls are about them. You phone them and you are asking what their goals are. You're asking how they're doing. You're not talking a whole lot besides just explaining the little bits of what we do in our groups and how everything works. So let them ask the questions and don't waste their time with long answers. So just, always invite to get them on the phone, because they hear the excitement. If you read this big, long, like mass text, you just get lost. And that's how they are with these messages from us. So when we can get on the phone with them and they feel like they're sitting in a room having a conversation with us, they can hear the excitement in our voice. They can see that we genuinely want to help them. And then I was like, hey, Heather, guess what? I got so many yeses, and these people are like super excited about it. And it felt so weird and it felt so awkward. And I literally like read off of my paper the first couple phone calls. And now it's just like hopping on the phone with a friend and like, how's it going? You're chatting with them. And it just feels completely comfortable and normal. So just, you have to work through the uncomfortable and through the awkward and through the like feeling weird about the whole thing, because they don't know that you feel weird unless you make it really weird and awkward to them. So I think that's all. Can't hear you, Heather. I think.
Sorry,
there you are.
I had to mute myself for a second because the oven timer was going off.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, all of that was perfect. That was awesome. And I was telling Jessica today about how when I first started, I'm an introvert, like a total introvert. And like I'm so shy and it's so hard for me to talk to people. But I knew that if I wanted this business to work, I had to get people on the phone. And I knew that was the one thing that was missing. And the reason why I wasn't having more success was I was not getting people on the phone. As soon as I started to do that, it like the amount of success, it just like snowballed, and it just changed everything about my business. And it brought so much more love and joy into it as well, because you actually get to connect with people and hear their life story and make these friendships. And even if they tell you no, or even if they disappear for a while, that you've at least been able to connect with them. And then they remember that. They remember the way that you make them feel, you know? It's, people say, like, they may not remember what you tell them, but they'll remember how you make them feel, right? They won't remember all the things that you told them. And so, like, weeks later, or even a month later, even months later, they're going to remember how you made them feel. They're going to remember that you made them feel good, and that you cared about them, and that you really genuinely wanted to support them and help them. And they're going to remember that. So, like, weeks or months down the road, when they come to a really hard point in their life and they are really struggling and they really need help, they're going to remember you, and they're going to reach out, because that's happened to me so many times. So don't ever give up on people. Like, follow-up is so important. It's follow-up. What the fortune is in the follow-up. That's what I learned from a lot of top coaches, and it's really true. We have to really keep going back and reaching out to people again. So, like, my little 100 invite list, I keep them, and I label, like, what months they are, and I'll still go back to older months. And so that's nice to be able to have a track of that. I'm, like, echoing on somebody's computer. Sorry. That's annoying. And then Christy's been telling me that she's been able to get people on the phone, and it's been going pretty well. So tell us a little bit about how you're able to get them on the phone and how that goes for you.
When I speak to somebody, when I message somebody, I'm just genuine about it, because I really want to help people. And so, like Tamara was saying, you got to start a relationship with them. You know, you got to start talking to them like they're your friends. And so that's what I do. And they're usually comfortable enough with me on the phone. So that's how I get them on the phone.
That's awesome. Cool. Perfect. Okay, on to the next topic. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you this awesome new system that I want to start using for us, that I am working on right now. And it's called Trello, and it's really cool. I'm having a hard time, like, figuring it out, because I'm kind of slow that way, but I'm going to make it work, because the accountability would be amazing. Okay, here it is. So it's called Trello, and I use this with my life coach. So these are the program phases. So I'm working with her for 4 months. So each month we have a different phase. So, like, number 1 is routine and self-love. Number 2, spirituality, purpose, passion. 3 is money, branding, social media. 4 is signature process. And so we have, like, our Zoom room number. We have our goals. This is, like, call number 1. And this is really cool because she gives me assignments to do. So this would be so cool for brand new coaches, for you to understand what to do, like, each week. So I could put little assignments here, like announce that you're a coach, make a list of 50 people that you want to reach out to, write out your vision, make a vision board. So these are all, like, the very first things that we do as when we first start coaching. And so the cool thing is that they have, like, these little check marks. So it makes you feel good when you check something off, right? And then you can also add videos. So, like, you know, our coach training manual that has, like, the different modules of videos to watch. I could break that down and put in a couple of, like, 3 videos per week or whatever to watch, 2 or 3. And then you work at your own pace, and then I'll just check back in with you, and I can look at your Trello and see how you're doing with everything. And the cool thing is we can make it a group, so everybody can be in this together. So everybody can see where you're at with your assignment. And so, like, if we see somebody slacking, we can all encourage her to get back on the wagon and get back into it. So I'm working on creating that for our group right now. Do you feel like that would help you with accountability and, like, staying on track? And
I think that'd be awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then I posted these really great things in there today about how to get clear on who you're talking to in your audience in your posts. So, like, how do I share what it is that we do? Show up proud, own what you do, follow the industry. So it's important to understand there's a lot of Beachbody coaches out there, and so we don't want to look like everybody else. So figure out what's unique to you and do those things. And I posted this file in our coach training group. Here's some pain points. These are awesome. So you could write out 5 top pain points of your future client. So maybe it's they have a past of yo-yo dieting, or they have a history of an eating disorder. Maybe they've tried so many different things and nothing ever worked. Or maybe they've just hit a plateau and they're not losing any weight. So those are all pain points that you can speak about in the posts that you make on social media. So it's really powerful, and you're speaking directly to your audience, to your niche market. Or if, like, for example, with coaching, then you could talk about, like, you know, we rarely saw each other because we were working holidays, nights, and weekends, and we never had extra money for vacations. And so those could be pain points for coaching prospects. Let's see if I can make this go down. So this one's really great. You can take a look at that in the training group. And then this is another one, like, talk about the elephant in the room. Write out some misconceptions people have about coaching or network marketing or working out at home. Like, a lot of people think that you have to go to a gym to get in shape, and it's not true. Like, obviously, from all of our transformations in January. So, and then create 2 to 5 posts about these. Do Facebook Lives and IG stories. Share life's interests. Be fun, silly, playful. Be interesting person to know. And I don't know if you guys watched the Waco College Jen Richardson. She was talking about Instagram. And I went and looked at her Instagram. Did any of you guys go look at her Instagram? So go look up Jen Richardson. Oh, I'll just show it to you right now since we have.
Yeah, I haven't checked it yet, but I watched her call and I was just, like, taking notes like nobody's business.
So I watched her speak before too, and I'll be honest, every time I listen to her speak, I feel so bad about myself after. She's, like, killing it. So, yeah, she has 32,000 followers, but if you look at her posts on Instagram, she, like, never talks about coaching, like, ever. And so that just goes to show that, like, you don't have to sell stuff. You don't have to talk about Beachbody in every single post. You don't have to show your Shakeology or anything, because if you look at, like, some typical coaches, that's all you see when you go to their pages. So it's really important to share what you love and not just be all Beachbody all the time.
Yeah, and she said, like, focus on doing that kind of stuff in your stories. Like, talk about Beachbody on demand and mix your shakes and, like, all of the stuff that comes with coaching and the behind-the-scenes stuff. That's perfect for your Insta stories if you have no idea, like, what to post in your stories.
Yeah, and I've seen a big shift just in the last year where coaches are not talking about Beachbody at as much anymore as they used to. It's like they're all, like, keeping it a secret, but then in their stories, they're showing their Shakeology, and they're talking about their groups, and they're inviting to their groups in their Insta stories. So it's like everything behind the scene is in the stories, like Tamara said. So yeah, that's her. And Team Cup. So we got Team Cup. We have our awesome team. And so basically what this is we're just trying to get as many people started as we possibly can. And those of you who are not on a Team Cup, I want you to push hard in February, and let's see how many people we can help this month. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could help, like, 50 people as a team this month? That would be amazing. We should totally go for that.
Can I share something really quick?
Yeah.
I wrote out these little notes today from Brennan's call, and I just wanted to say this with, like, going into the month of helping people. And it says, my job is not to sell people. It's to help influence people into a healthier lifestyle. So that's what we need to remember when we're doing this. We're not salespeople. We're not selling people. Like, we are providing them with an incredible lifestyle. And that's what we need to focus on when we're helping people, is not how many sales we can get, how many people we can help.
Yeah, I love that. And I wanted to take notes during that call, but I was rocking my baby to sleep. And so I couldn't take do you happen to take notes from that call? I know there's a couple things that were amazing that he said that I absolutely loved. Like, don't stop at no, wait till you get a yes for the day.
Yeah, don't end the day until you get a yes.
Yeah.
I'll send you my notes.
Okay, cool. Or if you want to just do a little.
Yeah, I can just share them.
Write up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In our group. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Okay. And then, okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, and then I'll let Shanna talk. Sorry. So I've had a couple of you guys mention that you want to do group workout, and I know a lot of top coaches are doing this, and it's really moving their business forward. So I do have some coaches who work out at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and then I have some coaches who work out in the evenings. And I noticed tonight I saw a top coach post that she was working out with her PM group. So she obviously has like an AM and a PM group that can jump onto Zoom and work out all together. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it'd be super fun to do that. I have like another girl that coaches in Cranbrook here that I'm friends with. She gets together with like a bunch of her girls at 6 in the morning, and it just looks like so much fun. Yeah. Just to like have that accountability of like working out with your girls, right?
And it's also like a good motivation tool also, like, because a lot of people don't have that motivation and they are by themselves, so they just give up and they don't do it. So I feel like it would be really helpful if we could all get together and make it like a group thing and make it fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's getting up at 5 with me?
Whoop whoop, morning people.
And I am not a morning person, y'all, like at all. I would do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. What I'm going to do is I'll post in our team page and I'll have everybody comment below what time of day is best for them to work out. And then we can, from there, coordinate schedules and figure out the best time to work out. How does that sound?
Cool. Okay. Just remember my time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, Vanessa's on the East Coast, and so is Jessica, right?
3 a.m. morning people, what?
Like 4:45 is pushing it for me, so.
This is pretty cool. We've got in Alabama, Chrissy's in Alabama, Kim's in Texas, Vanessa's in New York, Jessica is in what? Where are you at?
Tennessee right now.
Yeah. Jenna's in Idaho, I'm in Utah, and Tamara's in Canada. How cool is that?
I love it.
I love it. That's so awesome.
That's going to be a little tough to coordinate.
I know.
Yeah.
Seriously. And then Scotty has his call tomorrow afternoon, and he always has like 5-star plus coaches on. So if you can make it, try to jump onto those, because I know that he puts a lot of effort trying to get those put together, and he hasn't had like a huge showing lately. So I think it would be really great to support him and show up to those. Sometimes I forget until it's like halfway over, but just try, if you're not at work or whatever, just try to jump on. Yeah.
What time is it?
It's at noon Mountain Time. So it's at 2:00 Eastern.
Yeah.
And that's every Tuesday?
It's on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm going to turn the time over to Shanna, and we're excited to hear from you.
Okay, cool. But first, I want to hear a little bit more about your Reiki experience, because that's kind of what sparked this. So go ahead and share.
She was in my messenger just from wishing her a happy birthday, and she responded. So I like said something to her the next day. Because I went to her profile, I noticed that she does that. So I'm like, oh, cool. Can you tell me about Reiki? Because I don't know anything about it. But she told me a little bit, and she was like, oh, I could do a free session for you over the phone. I'm like, sure, why not? That's awesome. So I did it. And yeah, she spent a whole hour with me on the phone, and it was very relaxing. It was like she took me to a whole other place. It was almost like I was dreaming. It was really cool. She had me like lay down and close my eyes and like envision going to this mountain and climbing up this mountain. And she'd ask me, what do I see? So it was really like playful and imaginative, almost like something that you would do as a child. But it really felt like I was there. So it was cool. And then from there, like, I don't know how, but she could tell like what my aura color was, which was awesome. I don't know how that's his phone. And then, and she could like tell things about me that I don't know how she could tell. I mean, a couple things maybe from Facebook, but a couple things she wouldn't have known. And so that was really cool that she could like, I don't know how she knows that. Maybe you can tell me.
I can tell you how it works for me. It's always different for every Reiki practitioner, but basically Reiki is a Japanese system of working with energy. So the word Reiki comes from two Japanese words meaning universe, and chi or ki for energy, Ray, universe, ki, energy. So it's basically the idea that there's an energy that permeates the universe, and we are all part of that energy. We all have an energetic field around us, and we interact with others, and we both take into our energetic field and we give out from our energetic field. And like, I think you guys could probably, the most likely way for you to resonate with this is, like, let's say you walk into a room and there's 4 or 5 people in there and you just get this vibe. Like, sometimes you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. And sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened in this room, right? You get that feel for what's going on, and you don't even need to know the context or who was there or what was going on. You just get this feeling, and we're sensing the energy of the people around us. So Reiki is a system for helping people to access their personal energy, to recognize and see patterns in their energy, and to recognize where maybe we're holding on to too much energy around pain or trauma or things that aren't working for us, or fear, or sometimes it manifests as physical pain. And then also to be able to unlock areas where you may be struggling, like the visualization with Heather. That's a great tool that a lot of Reiki practitioners will use to just get a feel for what's coming up for you, maybe where your energy is the strongest, maybe where you may be lacking in certain areas. And as practitioners, we are trained to sense either in person or by a distance. We're trained to be sensitive to the energy that we perceive from each person. And this is where it differs for each practitioner. For me, I see images. And maybe since she took you through a visualization, she sees images too. That's pretty common. And it's also common, like, I don't know how familiar you guys are with chakras, energy chakras. You've got your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your thymus, what was your next one? Your crown, and then your pineal. That's very common in Eastern medicine. If you look in India and in China, that system of energy is really common. And that's usually, those are the energy centers in our body, and that's what manifests in our aura. So what color, you said orange is what she saw for you, Heather? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very cool. So that's our sacral chakra. So that's the chakra that's usually empowered by sex or money or creation. So that, it can be kind of taboo, but given that you're a Beachbody coach and you're being driven by creation and by money at this point in time, that makes a whole lot of sense. So that's an energy area that's really activated for you right now. And it will be different for every practitioner. Some of us see colors, some of us see images. I tend, when I work with people, to see images, and that's usually what I'll share with people. And then I just tell them what I see, and I leave it to them to explain. And you would be floored at what comes out. Like, sometimes you could just say, I see an ice cream cone, and people will go, oh my gosh, my 5th birthday. And it's just this floodgate that opens. And I have no idea what's coming up for them until they express that. And it's just that really cool way for them to process those emotions that may have gotten stuck inside at a particular time in their life. So I just wanted to tie this back into coaching tonight, though, to give you an idea where maybe your energy is centered, maybe some areas where you would need some work or some help or assistance, or maybe just some more awareness. So I was going to go through each of the chakras and talk about some common fears that are associated with those chakras. And then I figured I would just give you some ideas for working with those. If you start at the root, it's right underneath your butt. It's what connects us to the earth. It's your root chakra. Its color is red, and it's usually associated with feelings of safety and security and being grounded. So when we have a powerful connection with that chakra, we feel safe, we feel comfortable moving around in the world, and we feel like we're secure. Usually this happens when we have a really secure childhood. If we're experiencing fear, especially, let's relate this to Beachbody, we're feeling like it's unsafe. We feel like the world is a scary place. We feel like we can't trust people, and we feel like it may not be safe to approach, and that can make it challenging as a coach. So just focus again. One of the visualizations you can do here is to, as you go to bed at night, imagine breathing in red energy and just let it wash through your whole body. And you chant, I am safe, I am safe. I am safe. And just watch that progress and you'll start to see a shift. Your next chakra up is your sacral chakra. That's associated with the color orange. Again, it's associated with money and sex and creation. And sometimes some of the fears that come up here are a fear of intimacy or a fear of maybe pain associated with sex sometimes, doubts about whether you have the power to create money, doubts about whether you're good enough to receive money. And again, if that's coming up in your Beachbody business, that can really, really suck. So again, this is really basic. Unless you want to work with an energy practitioner, just imagine breathing in that color and saying an affirmation as you fall asleep. Breathe in the energy of orange. I love money. Money comes to me easily. I'm looking at ways that I can always create more money. And, sometimes I'll trigger your fears like, ooh, money is evil. A lot of us have that one deep down inside, and it can take work to actually budge that one, and that's okay. Your next chakra up is your solar plexus. It's right around your belly button, your navel area, and its color is yellow. And it's associated with trust and self-esteem and self-worth. So sometimes in our coaching, a fear that comes up is not being able to trust again, or not feeling like we're good enough, or who am I to share this business? I'm nobody. I still am fat. I'm overweight. This one was huge for me. I got really, really stuck here. Heather actually helped me work through that. So shout out to Heather. Good job. But yeah, again, breathe in the color yellow. I am worthy. I am worth this. I am powerful. I am strong. Whatever it is that you feel like you need to talk to your inner child and say, hey, guess what? You're worth it. You're good enough. Your next chakra up is your heart chakra, and that's associated with the color green. And it's about your feelings. Usually the really tough ones like grief and anger and fear on the harder side, and then also love and compassion and generosity and all of the elevated feelings as well. Sometimes this can just be a really good place to have awareness, like where am I needing support? Where am I needing to be in touch with my feelings so that I can be better centered, be a whole complete person, so that then I have more to give to others as I work, especially serving others as a coach in this business. Your next chakra up is your throat chakra, and that is turquoise to blue. And this chakra is all about speaking your truth, about owning who it is. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get teary-eyed because I've been working on this one lately too. About being willing to speak about who you are, being confident that you have something to offer that matters to people, and that your opinion matters, and that it's okay to set boundaries, that type of thing. So again, if you are feeling like you have nothing to offer, I would invite you to breathe in the energy of blue and consider what you're good at, what you're great at, what you are passionate about, and be willing to step into the space of owning, being excited about that and loving that. And I kind of love that, Beachbody's colors are blue. It's kind of a nice tie-in. Your next chakra is your third eye. It is right about here, and it's purple. And this has a lot to do with your feelings of intelligence and knowledge and the way that you perceive the world. So you can, again, either feel really confident here, like I've got this, I'm smart, I'm capable, and I'm intelligent. You'll see a lot of people who are logical and analytical and questioners and that like to analyze things get really, really stuck in this chakra, almost to where it overpowers everything else. And sometimes we get there in our business too. We get stuck in analysis by paralysis. I know I get there too. I have to know exactly why Shakeology is awesome. I have to know exactly why 80-day obsession is going to be amazing. And I have to know that when I do it this way, I'm going to get these results so that I can answer any freaking question that anybody has. I get really stuck here. So again, if you're feeling like you need more information, breathe in the color purple and give yourself permission to realize that you don't have to know everything. You are fine the way you are, and you assist where you can, and it's enough. And then lastly, you have your crown chakra, and it depends on who you talk to. Some people it's indigo, a really deep purple. Some people it's white. It's your source of spiritual connection with your God, your creator, your higher power, the universe, whatever you see. It's your source of intuition, inspiration, connection, insight. And sometimes I think, especially as entrepreneurs, we can feel like we have to take it on all by ourselves. And we feel like we don't have the support that we need. And sometimes we just forget that we have connection to something beyond ourselves, something that is more powerful than we are, and a source of wisdom that can come if we just tap in. So again, focus on the color white or the color purple, whichever one resonates with you, and be willing to, oddly enough, surrender. You have to surrender to that higher power to receive information that's beyond yourself. So there you go. That's just a little basic summary.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janet.
Yeah, you're
That's
welcome.
perfect timing. We have like 1.5 minutes.
Oh, good.
Thank you for going through the chakras, because I've always wondered about those and wanted to know more. So that was perfect, the way that you related it to coaching. Thank you so much.
Good. You're welcome.
Awesome. Do you guys have any questions for Shanna? Okay, well, if
you actually,
sorry. Go for it.
If I can get it in before our thing ends, are there any like resources that we could go to maybe learn more about Reiki and chakras and all that kind of stuff?
Sure. Yeah, I'll post some in our group tonight, the group page on Facebook. Yeah, I can give you information either about becoming a practitioner, it's super easy, or just in general information.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shanna. It was great seeing everybody. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Let's kill it in February.
Yeah.
Let's go for 50 people this month. Let's help 50 people. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Okay, have a great night.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.